approval of the minutes from our February 27th county board meeting. Is there a motion to approve? Is there a second? Second. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. I have nothing under chair's remarks. It's going to be the quickest meeting we've ever had. We will move on to management committee report. Commissioner West.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The first item we have is a new position in Human Services and Community Health and Environmental Services. It's non-budgeted, and it's contingent on the Minnesota Department of Human Services Child and Teen Checkups funding. It's 1 FTE, Office Support Assistance, grade 7.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Motion carries. And then there's an additional item. Commissioner West?
And that item is in administration, a new position, 1 FTE Economic Development Specialist, grade 13. And I know that you would be very equipped to explain the details of that one.
Okay, certainly happy to do that. So about a year ago, we embarked on a partnership with Connexus Energy, Metro North Chamber of Commerce, as well as some of our local cities, to take a look at really a study of what our strengths and our weaknesses were as a county in relation to economic development. When we embarked on that study, we, I think, all agreed up front that there will be things in that study that we may not want to hear, but that's good information for us to be able to take and learn from. And that there may be other things that, we definitely agree with. But it was a commitment to take that study, implement whatever recommendations come out of that study, and move forward. So as part of that study and the results, it talked about really the need for alignment between the cities as well as the county in economic development, and having kind of that central point of contact to really be able to ensure that there's coordination between the county and the local communities in the way of economic development. And so as a result, this position is coming forward, part of our commitment to the results of that study and moving forward so that we can be competitive as a county in the way of economic development. And this is just one piece of the result of the study, and there are other pieces that will be moving forward as well. So,
Madam Chair, could I move this item, please?
is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner?
have we determined what the job duties will be for this?
Yes, we have. Karen, do you have the EDQ that was put together that kind of lists some of those things? I know that in the proposal, it talks about, they would develop, implement, promote economic development strategies for Anoka County, provide technical expertise to some of the cities and townships, work with other private and public stakeholders, developing those relationships as well, not only within the cities and the business community, but our regional economic development partners at Greater MSP, and really working very closely with that executive group of economic development folks within the county on a broader level.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, I think you very well summed up what the primary job responsibilities will be. It's the biggest piece is that it's coordinating between the communities and working on behalf of the cities. We're not taking an approach that this is a county job and we're telling the cities what to do. We're taking the lead from the cities through the task force that's been working on this for the last year, and making a position that will really be responsive, help kind of equalize all of the communities, give everyone the same opportunities as the large cities that have economic development staff. So there'll be technical assistance, I'm hoping to see a significant increase in the number of responses to inquiries from business and really help meet some of our primary objectives. Marketing and branding the county as a whole with the city, the 21 communities is crucial to making us competitive with the other counties near us.
Commissioner
Madam
Look?
Chair, as a follow-up, what is the funding source for this?
Madam Chair, Commissioners, for this first year, we're looking at asset preservation. In future years, we'll be looking at potentially accessing, there's some funding from a deed MIF grant that we can convert and use for economic development opportunities. If we are able to add members to the Housing and Redevelopment Authority, that becomes a funding source. So we're taking a very bold step this first year to meet the needs identified in the study, and we'll work very hard to find alternative funding sources for future years.
Further discussion?
Madam Chair.
I'd like to comment, Madam Chair. Thank you. Yeah, the question was asked, is there, what are the job duties? And I think that it's very much as a work in progress, I have to imagine. This is a unique exchange, a unique opportunity, many, many partners, many uncertainties. So I would rather imagine, although you outlined generalistic duties and responsibility, that will morph and change, evolve with each passing day in the next month or year or better. Working with the cities, working with the chamber, working with Connexus, working with people that come to Anoka County. Clearly, I think we're going to find out in time what the key role and responsibility of that position is going to be. So I'm just going to assume that, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair. Connexus Energy and the Metro North Chamber intend to, as this progresses, engage other energy companies and chambers also. So that will likely help with the financial support of it too.
And Madam Chair, it's important to note that this is a contract position within Anoka County as an administrators under the administration of Anoka County. It was also important to note that there will be a committee put together of the stakeholders, of the cities and the county, that will help guide this position. They'll help write the job duties, will help evaluate the job position, make sure that it stays relevant, make sure that it stays on track. And as time progresses, this is not necessarily a job in perpetuity. This is a position that, as long as we need it, as long as it's performing, as long as it shows those measurable outcomes, we can continue to have this contract in place. The day it doesn't, we can reevaluate. I think that's an important part of this contract.
Madam Chair? I'm excited about this opportunity, this position. I think it's going to do some good things for us. I know that we have not been overly, while I think Greater MSP has been doing great work throughout the region, Anoka County hasn't always been as excited about all of the things that have happened. And I think part of that comes to the fact that when they're dealing with a Minneapolis, where you have a downtown business council, where they're dealing with St. Paul, where you have the same, and you're seeing the same things in some of the southern counties. We never had that. It was the county board, and it was, then we had all these cities, and we tried to pull them together and do the best we could. And this gives us a person, I think, that can lead that, and then they know where to go. They know what to do. And I think the cities are going to be very appreciative of this as well, and the chambers in the area as well. I mean, we're one of the few counties, I think, that we border on Minneapolis, and then we have Sherburne County, we have Washington County, we have Ramsey County, we have all the way up to, what's our north? Isanti. Yes.
Isanti and Chisago.
Yes, yes. So it's a large area that we're trying to pull everybody together. We have, old cities like Columbia Heights and Ridley, and then the first ring suburbs, Coon Rapids, and then all the way out to East Bethel and Ham Lake, and totally different business climates out there than there is here. So this really gives us an opportunity, I think, to pull them all together and to work as a one common voice. So I'm excited about the opportunity.
And I would note that we are not the only suburban county to be doing this. I know that Washington County, I think, did this about a year or so ago. recognizing the need to have that alignment and that coordination. Not to mention just an inventory of available properties and sites and buildings. Because I can tell you that I contacted Karen because I had someone contacted me regarding looking for a site within Anoka County. And we were not able to produce that. It took days, and that was her reaching out to the cities, and it was just getting back information. Whoever happened to respond to her is how I was able to kind of put together a list of available properties. That's something that we should be able to have at our fingertips. And I think that this position will be working with cities to make sure that we do have that information available, because frankly, site selectors are not going to wait. They want the information. Many times they're deciding which entities they can exclude from their search, and they'll be going on to websites and looking at some of that stuff themselves and determine whether or not they're even going to consider a community. So having that information readily available, I think, is critically important.
Madam Chair, I can't help but comment, and maybe I don't have to, but there's been some concern over time about the performance of greater MSP, which I understand. But nobody that they do or we do can ever guarantee that all the partners are going to enjoy the equal share of success of their participation in any organization. I don't care which one it is. Maybe part of the problem is Anoka County is what Anoka County is. Maybe Anoka County is some of what the study kind of outlined. It does create some impediments, and that's what we're trying to overcome by having this position, which I think can work in parallel with greater MSP to try and make sure that if they approach us, corporations approach us, or we find opportunities. So I'm excited to do this. I'm happy to continue to work with greater MSP. I think it's the big picture. It's exactly what we're going to do in a broader perspective, and I wouldn't want to lose sight of our involvement in that organization as well as this one, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, certainly in talking to greater MSP and also talking to folks who used to work at DEED, some folks from Great River Energy, they all have commented, this is exactly what you need to be doing, and we're glad that you're finally doing this. So I think it's the right step, for sure. So with that, roll call vote.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye. A motion carries.
And Madam, that concludes my report.
Okay, next, we'll have consider adopting ordinance 2018-2 Regional Mixed Municipal Solid Waste Hauler Licensing Ordinance. As you recall, we had a public hearing for this during our last meeting. And is there a motion to approve, I guess?
I'll offer, Madam Chair. Yeah.
Is there a second? Okay, moved and seconded. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Motion carries. Is there anything else to come before the county board? If not, meeting is adjourned.
15 minutes.